Today is August 17th, 2012. This is a litter of 10 beautiful Sheepadoodle puppies. They were born on August 8th, 2012. Pardon the hoarse voice, I picked up a little bit of a cold, first one in 2 years. Thanks to the fact that I had a little bit of a break between daily bleaching and puppy cleaning. Not healthy for me. It's actually healthier for me to have puppies to clean every day. But now I do have 3 beautiful litters, so hopefully I'll kick this cold, and then with my daily cleaning habits I will remain healthy again for some time to come. But anyway, I'm gonna this is kind of early to give a video. All of these puppies have been, of course, spoken for. We are happy to announce that we do have 3 girls in heat. There's never a guarantee that all the girls will get pregnant, but these are girls that we anticipated. I just didn't anticipate them all coming in heat at one time. Ask any breeder and they'll tell you sometimes it's just the way it happens. But we do have our beautiful Cola, who we picked out as a puppy a year and a half ago, and she is she is in heat right now. And we will have her bred to Yogi. We picked her out specifically for her markings in hopes that we will repeat a beautiful, equally beautiful litter to this one here that we are observing out of Jessie. I actually got Jessie and Cola around the same time. And one of our sheepdogs is actually in heat. Now this will be our first experience of breeding a female Old English sheepdog to one of our standard poodle boys. We do understand that female Old English sheepdogs are not always the easiest breeders, so time will tell on that. But that is Ruthie, that is in heat, and we do have her with our beautiful brown and white party boy, Boaz. He's a heavy cream carrier, and he does have strong markings, but we're anxious to see how he may do as far as being bred to a sheepdog. So we'll see how that pans out. And then, of course, our girl, Emmy. She will be bred one more time, and then she will, at the very least, have a year off. And there's a good possibility we may be retiring her from our program. She's just 4, or just getting ready to turn. I think she's just turned 4. We've had Emmy here, of course, since she was a puppy. Skipped a number of her heats for some testing that we had done, and which of course all came out clear and fine. She's perfectly fine, and she has had 1 litter of standard poodles for us about 2 years ago, and then of course she had 2 beautiful litters of Sheepadoodles for us. The last litter that she had no losses, no stillborns, but she did have a smaller litter of 5. So we'll see what happens this time. Sometimes it's just all in timing. And but anyway, she is in heat since she is proven. We are kind of counting on Emmy a little bit more right now than our other 2 girls, since they're both maiden females. But we are accepting deposits. We are up to 5 deposits at this point on those litters, which we're giving everybody the option to split their name between 2 lists, just as a backup in case we do not have a successful breeding. And then, of course, like I said, this litter here is already spoken for. We've had some people waiting as far back as last December. All right, now I'm going to have to use my cheat sheet since this is the first time that I'm introducing this litter. Keep in mind, this is very early. They are only a week old. We do not have open eyeballs. But I just wanted to give a sneak peek. It is a beautifully marked litter. We're very, very pleased. Now, of course, this is Lawpadoodle Kennel, LAWPDOODLE, Kennel, KENNEL.com. You can find us on the web. You can find beautiful individual pictures, which we'll be updating this week, or this coming week, of these puppies. And, of course, this video. And information about the mommy and daddy. Pictures of everybody, information about us, so please visit us on our website. We are located in Lost Creek, West Virginia. We are 2 hours north of Charleston, West Virginia. We are 2 hours south of Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, of course 4 hours west of Washington, D.C. and Baltimore. Yay, go Redskins. Okay, I guess you all know where I came from. I'm not a West Virginia native. This is my husband's home farm that we live on now. I was born and raised in the suburbs of D.C., 20 minutes outside of D.C., in Kensington, Maryland. But I am happy to be a mountaineer. All right, this little girl right here, this is our little Nellie. She has a yellow collar here, you can see. And basically, I'm just kind of trying to give you a picture of their markings on video as best I can. It is getting dark. I just came back from Maryland, as a matter of fact, today. Just finished doing some cleaning and update and feeding, of course, of our mommies in here, and they're outside anxiously waiting to come back in with their babies. So I just wanted to get my chores done, and I thought I'd just give a quick peek because I'm actually so excited about this litter. I wanted to peek at them too. Okay, this green collared boy is the one we call Ralph. Now these were just random names. I didn't really come up with a theme this time. And anyway, I just kind of picked some random names for these puppies. Of course, they're all ID names. It just makes it easier for me to find their files when I prepare CDs to go home with their packages of all their baby pictures. And of course, it just it helps me also in keeping track of the puppies. We do know that the majority, if not all of them, will be renamed. Sometimes people will keep their names, and I've even had folks that actually will pick a new name but keep their ID name as their middle name, which is really kind of cute. This little guy, now he was my special boy. We worked together for an hour and a half after he was born. He is our little one. He's growing quite rapidly, though, and doing quite well, and he's the one we call Morris. You can see how beautifully marked he is. But yeah, he had a little bit of a rough start when he came out, but he's doing quite well and thriving just as well as his sisters and brothers, and we're quite proud of him. So don't let that size fool you. If anybody watches Ellie and Mowgli, which you can find on YouTube, just go ahead and search YouTube for Ellie and Mowgli. They are out of a litter of Sheepadoodles from Yogi and Cricket last fall, almost a year ago. They're almost going to celebrate their year birthday. And Mr. Mowgli was born, he was born pretty much essentially lifeless, and we all but breathed life back into him, revived him, and I worked with him, watched him closely, thought I was going to lose him a couple of times, but he went home to live with his sister Ellie, who was pick of the litter, and Ellie actually was the biggest puppy in the litter of 11 out of Cricket and Yogi, and Mr. Mowgli was the tiny, he was a true runt, let me tell you, he was tiny, and but he was quite a survivor. And I don't know if I've posted them on my website yet. I will shortly, but they came back to visit me recently. They don't live very far from here. And Mr. Mowgli is bigger than Ellie. So anyway, he is a pretty big guy. And so it just goes to show you that don't let the size fool you. They will sometimes still mature out. And runts have been known to mature out even bigger than their siblings. So, all right, now on to the next one here. I think this is number 4. Just want to make sure I get everybody. This is our purple girl, Beulah. Okay, there's her face, and you can see her markings. All of the puppies, of course, have white bellies, see? So even if they have a little bit more black on their face, they've got lots of white on their chest and on their bellies. Everybody's got white feet, white legs, white tip on their tail. That we do not dock. We did remove the dew claws, of course, for safety reasons. All right. Now this guy right here is the one we call Butch. Okay, you can see his markings on his back and his face. Okay, there's Mr. Butch. He's got a little patch on his eye. I love the patches on my ones because they remind me of their daddy. Their daddy has a patch on his eye, and that was the reason we picked him out when we got him. We just fell in love with his face. It had so much character, and he's certainly lived up to his looks because we couldn't ask for a better guy than our Mr. Yogi. We love him to pieces. Now this, of course, little girl has already been chosen. She has been renamed, and off the top of my head, I just can't think of it. I do apologize. But anyway, her original name, we called her Patches. Olive. I believe she's been renamed Olive. But she is pick of the litter, and Nancy, who had our first choice, I love her markings. I'm not sure if you can see them on the camera. I don't want to run this over because YouTube only gives me 15 minutes. But anyway, I saw this as soon as she was born. She was my favorite upon birth. Not that I want to have any favorites, but her markings were just so fascinating. She's got black blended in with her white in here. She's just so cool. You are so cool, little girl. Yes, you are. But she has already been chosen. So that is our not Nellie, Patches / Olive. Okay? She will go home with Nancy and her family when she is ready. All right, and I believe I calculated today that the first weekend these puppies will be available to go home or the first day, they'll be 8 weeks old on the 1st of October. And if they're flying, of course, they cannot go home before they are 8 weeks old. We may work out a couple of pickups the previous weekend. Since the 1st is on Wednesday, they'll be about 7.5 weeks old when they make their way home. Okay, all right, now this guy with the brown collar, this is the one we call Sigmund. All right, he's got a little bit more black on his face, very symmetrical, nice white collar, white feet all around, of course, white tip on his tail. He's even got a little white, kind of like but for bow and arrow, I guess I would say, right on his rump. Yeah, I hear mommies out there, they're getting a little anxious, so we're going to make this kind of quicken this up a little bit. All right, the light blue here guy, this one is Elmer. You can see his little dot on his head. All right, and he's marked a lot like his brother, except that he's got the dot. Very symmetrical on his face. All right, he's all black on his body. Nice white legs, white tip on his tail. All right, this is another one of our boys. This is one of our biggest ones in the litter. And this is the one that I did not put, I didn't. This is one I actually call Harvey. Okay, you can see he's predominantly white, and you can see his black patch on his eye, and his black stripe. He's got a little bit of black blended in with his white back here also, just like his one sister, Olive. All right, and I believe, and I hope I didn't miss anybody, this is our last one. This is our little pink collared girl, and this is the one we call Seneca. She's kind of small too. In comparison, she's about the size of her brother Morris at this point, because he's growing so fast. I think he's caught up with her. Okay, so there's Seneca. You can see she's she's pretty much black throughout on her main part of her body. Nice tuxedo markings, and there's her belly. Okay, so there's Miss Seneca. So I hope I got everybody. Dark blue. I think we did dark blue. Yeah, that was Morris. That's our little guy Morris. There's our light green guy. So anyway, just a first pick. Again, once again, it's www.lawpdoodle lawpadoodlekennel.com. This is just the initial sneak peek, and hopefully they'll be moving around a little bit more by the time we get ready to do our next video. But we will be doing still shots before the next video. So we thank you for viewing our puppies, and may God bless you.